I was the assistant general manager for about 4 or 5, 6 years before becoming GM in '98. But I got to know KT when he was GM here, and I was the assistant GM in New York when we were broken up, especially the Arabu deal. KT and Larry Lucchino here purchased Hideki Arabu from the Chibalote Marines, and they actually are the godfathers of the posting system.
Ladies and gentlemen, Theo Epstein.
It's an honor to be here in such great company, celebrating the life of Kevin Towers, my friend, my boss, and my mentor. I'd like to take just a few minutes to describe what an amazing experience it was to have a guy like KT in your corner, something that so many of us on the field have the privilege of having experienced. I was just out of college, thanks to Larry, working an entry-level job in PR for the Padres. And from time to time, I'd find myself hanging out with the baseball ops guys in KT's office, waiting for news at the draft, at the trade deadline. I was just a peon, nobody, a faceless kid trying to be invisible and not get in the way. But there was never such a thing as a nobody to Kevin Towers. I can still remember, and I'll always remember, exactly how great it felt when you could make him laugh, really laugh, this like giddy, mischievous laugh like a school kid. Because most of the time, it was him making you laugh. And trust me, he had the better stories. And we'll be retelling some of them later tonight at the bar.
Todd Greene, player and scout under KT with the Padres and Diamondbacks, and also one of my close friends. Ryan Isaac, assistant to KT with the Padres and Diamondbacks. Kevin Sommelier, and he's this wine guy, if you don't know what a sommelier is. He's a pro in tequila as well, and they call him the Wine Dog. Love the nickname. Jim Henry, colleague of KT's with the Yankees and former Cubs GM. Wally Joyner, Wally World, BYU teammates, and KT's first acquisition with the Padres. Charlie Kerfeld, scout with KT, now with the Phillies and a former player. Phil Nevin, played for the Padres under KT, as we all know. We've heard the stories, we saw the bathroom. GM and good friend, lots of stories about this guy that you cannot tell, but one of my best friends. Guys, please join us.
We're in a situation where I don't know what to do. And Kevin looks at me and says, you know what, we're out of pitching. I look at him, he looks at me, and he knew right away what had to happen. Kevin had to pitch. So he jogs down to the bullpen. So he throws about 5 pitches. I look down there, that arm right there, he waves the hat, he's ready. I bring him in, he comes to the mound, and he's got these turfs on. He's got his clicker in his back pocket, his watch on, charts in his back pocket, and we're getting smoked. So I'm just trying to finish the inning here, Kevin. So I'm walking to the dugout, and first pitch I hear hit the backstop, bam! I said, man, that bone chip didn't move. I moved on him last year. It's in that same place. So their top pick comes up, and I just said, Kevin, whatever happens here, just don't hit him. First pitch, his juices are going, he lets it fly, and boom, right in the coconut. Of course, all the fans want to kill us because it looked like I put him in there to hit him, but luckily that was our last game, and we got to take off and take the bus to Spokane. But what a great time we had, and gave me a chance to meet his wonderful mom, Kathy. When we went to Medford, I had a chance to spend time with all his friends, and there's a story I can't tell about when he almost killed my son and I on the Rogue River there. So
the bell we heard, obviously meant something a little bit different to myself, and found out towards the end of my career it meant something else to KT. He wasn't just running for the bathroom. I found out he was probably running to tell Theo to make sure you put up 88 instead of the 84 that Coleman ended up finding out later in his career. But you know, I think it goes to a little bit what we heard about superstition. I think KT got rolling with it, and it was something he was comfortable with, and didn't want to mess with the baseball gods. And so I appreciate his consistency and love for the way he wanted to go about things. I have a story from Pittsburgh. Must have been something, and towards the end of the evening, we were all kind of doing about the same thing, and his cab kind of came up rolling up underneath the Hyatt, and we were coming around the corner, and I saw him, Bochy, and Larry in the car, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to startle him a little bit by running up over the top of it. And fortunately enough, he saw me coming, he allowed it to happen, and Bochy kind of turned to him and said, "What the heck was that?" And he goes, "Well, that was your closer." And so he spent the next 5 minutes telling the cabbie what a closer was, and the next 5 minutes trying to talk him into not calling the cops so that it would be available for the game the next day. So he had the brilliant intuitiveness to be able to get through certain situations that he wasn't overly expecting. Finally, probably my greatest gift that KT gave me is the gift of bulldogs. There's no doubt about it. We have 3 of them, and our doggies don't wet the bed. So, Cash, I'm sure you know what you did that day. But to see that pack mentality that we get from them and the love that they give back to us, I think was an opportunity for us to be able to see the love that KT gave us all through his doggies and his love for our animals. So he was a daddy, and it was awesome to watch. It's going to be a special day in July, at the end of July, to be able to honor him and be a part of that, and I know he'll be looking down. So thank you for everybody for coming.